ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। यं प्रावजन्तमनुपेतकृत्यं रापायनो विरह कातर आजुहाव भूतैति तन्मयतया तरवो विनेदुस् तं सर्वभूतं हृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नारां चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। भक्त्या विहीना पराधलक्षाय क्षिप्तष्टकामारी तरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं। तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय राधे त्वं नयनं चरणन्दिके। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. So we're going to begin by offering our most humble obeisance unto the lotus feet of our beloved gurus, unto Sri Guru Pada Padma Nityalita Bhavishta Om Vishnu Padasta Tarsat Sri Srimad Abhaya Chararavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, and unto Sri Guru Pada Padma Nityalita Bhavishta Om Vishnu Pad Asta Tarsat Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, unto our exalted Rupanuga Guru Varga, all the assembled Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, Sannyasidan, Jai. So today is the Divine Appearance Day of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And we've been reading from the Nityananda Caritamrta, which is excerpted from the Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, those sections specifically dealing with the pastimes of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Previously we've read extensively from Sri Chaitanya Caritamrta, also Chaitanya Bhagavat, something, but now we're going to continue with this delightful way to honor Lord Nityananda by hearing his pastimes. They're not just stories. The pastimes themselves are instructive. We listen to the pastimes because he is Guru, Adi Guru. He also acts on the role of Acharya. So all of his pastimes are instructive unto the nature of bhakti. Just as Mahaprabhu's whole life, he's showing in his own life how one may develop on the path of bhakti from disinterest as a scholar, right? His scholarly pastimes, he appeared to have no interest, to getting the blessings, association of so many great devotees who did not know of his identity and were just saddened that their beloved Nimai wouldn't be a devotee. And then gradually their blessings and his promise to them, don't worry, one day I will become a devotee. But in his normally arrogant way, he said, I will be the best of devotees. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva will come and worship me. And the devotees go, oh, Vishnu, Vishnu. Yeah. But then he got the association of Ishwar Puripad. Then he went to Gaya and got it again, took initiation, and then he showed step by step how it works. Nityananda Prabhu's pastimes also. However, his is a little different. We're getting indications from the very beginning. And even though, again, his parents, villagers, associates were also covered by Yogamaya, his pastimes were always pastimes of one deeply absorbed in the highest states of love of God. And we've read about him traveling to all the pastime and holy tirthas, pastime places of the different incarnations and holy tirthas. And now, in the midst of his traveling, he's going to meet with Sri Madhavendra Puri, who is the seed of the tree of Mahaprabhu, the seed of Mahaprabhu's mission. The first to manifest and express the secret sentiments of Srimati Radhika. And we know Nityananda Prabhu also has these sentiments, and we heard in that extraordinary introduction from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada that for those aspiring for Radha Dasyam, without the mercy of Mahaprabhu, Radhika will not accept us. Right? You have to go through him. Right? And we also heard that without going through Advaita Acharya, can't get the mercy of Mahaprabhu or Nityananda. They're all important. And Gadadhar Pandit, Radhika herself, revealing to all the associates of Mahaprabhu the most confidential nature of Radha Tattva. It's all intertwined. You can't separate. And then Srivas Thakur, also Guru, Narada Muni. So let's hear about this. This is chapter 3 of this Nityananda Caritamrta. As Lord Nityananda traveled, by the will of Providence, he met Sri Madhavendra Puri. The body of Sri Madhavendra Puri was imbued with ecstatic love of God, and his followers shared the same sentiments. He did not relish anything other than loving sentiments for Lord Krishna, who enjoyed performing pastimes in the body of Madhavendra Puri. What can I say about the devotion of he who was the spiritual master of Sri Advaita Acharya? Remember, we heard about Madhavendra Puri meeting Advaita Acharya. In his travels, he came through Shantipur and met him there. Right? So, let's see. So, seeing Madhavendra Puri, Nityananda Prabhu at once fell unconscious onto the ground, stunned in ecstatic prema. Oh, one more thing. He said something amazing. He says, Krishna enjoyed performing pastimes in the body of Madhavendra Puri. What does that mean? What does that mean? We got another hint of that when we were hearing about Jaghai and Madhai, and Lord Chaitanya declaring that I eat through their mouths. When you serve that Mahabhagavat, Krishna's declaring, Mahaprabhu's declaring, when they take that prasad, I am eating through them. I am enjoying through them. Can't understand this. This is some kind of extraordinary tadatmic nature, the union between the devotee and the Lord. We read about that with Srimati Radhika and Krishna, and we can sort of grasp it because they're Shakti, Shaktiman, but we're also Shakti, right? We're a special kind of Shakti coming from Sarup Shakti, not directly, but from, we are Shakti. So somehow or other, in these exalted personalities, Krishna's relishing their pastimes as well, their activities. Seeing Madhavendra Puri, Nityananda Prabhu at once fell unconscious onto the ground, stunned in ecstatic prema. Seeing Lord Nityananda, Madhavendra Puri forgot himself and also fell unconscious. Sri Gaurachandra repeatedly said that Sri Madhavendra Puri is the original root of worship in ecstatic love. After both Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri swooned, the disciples, headed by Ishwara Puri, began to cry. What kind of crying? It's a very ecstatic crying. It might look like they're so full of distress, right? Oh, look at the unhappy state of our Guru, of Nityananda, of Madhavendra Puri. But who among us would not want to cry in that same way? Right? Recovering after some time, Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri embraced each other and cried. Sri Gaur Govinda Maharaj said, that we're in a crying school. We want to go to school and learn how to cry like this. Overwhelmed by ecstatic love for Krishna, they rolled on the sand and cried out loudly. The tears of love flowing from their eyes like rain soaked Mother Earth. making her feel gratified. Shivering, shedding of tears, and the hair of their bodies standing on end, as well as other ecstatic symptoms, manifested themselves one after another endlessly. This ecstasy was caused by Lord Krishna personally residing in their bodies. They're so deeply in love, so sold out to Lord Krishna, like the gopis. When the gopis were in separation from Krishna after the initial Rasa Leela and he disappeared, they became so absorbed in thought, it was as if, or factually, he entered into them and they assumed all of his moods and began to perform pastimes as if they themselves were Krishna. I am Krishna, I'm lifting Govardhan Hill. I am Krishna, I'm killing Aghasura. All the pastimes they manifested, they were so deeply absorbed in Krishna, it was as if they themselves were Krishna. And we see that in Radha and Krishna as well. We can't understand it yet, but we read about it, and if we repeat it properly and yearn for it, that sometimes Krishna becomes so absorbed in Radhika, he forgets himself and begins to turn golden and call out his own name, Krishna, Krishna. And sometimes Radhika becomes so absorbed in Krishna, she turns blackish, right, in that mood. So they were manifesting all the sattvika bhavs and anubhavs simultaneously, the internal transformations and the external manifestations, all these signs of their ecstasy. This ecstasy was caused by what? By Lord Krishna personally residing in their bodies. Who resides in our bodies? Paramatma. We don't have Krishna residing in our bodies yet. When we become on this level, well, not this level, but when our love and our relationship becomes mature, then we may have Krishna, Vrindavan Krishna, in our heart. Lord Nityananda said, the results of visiting all the holy places of pilgrimage have now borne fruit. Today I have seen the lotus feet of Madhavendra Puri. Seeing his ecstatic love of God, my life has become successful. Lord Nityananda is Baladev. He's God himself. And he's also in the mood of a devotee. So simultaneously he's expressing that the perfection of life is to see and be in the association of a great devotee. And by mentioning lotus feet, he's also indicating that even though he's the object of service, he also wants to serve that devotee. Nityananda Prabhu was a disciple of Lakshmi Pati. So he's actually a godbrother of Madhavendra Puri. But he feels that Madhavendra Puri is like his Shiksha Guru. Sri Madhavendra Puri embraced Nityananda Prabhu but was unable to reply because his throat was choked up due to ecstatic love. Madhavendra Puri was so pleased that he was unable to release Nityananda Prabhu from his embrace. Ishwara Puri, Brahmananda Puri, and all the other disciples of Madhavendra Puri felt intense attachment for Nityananda Prabhu. Ishwara Puri, who's going to become Mahaprabhu's guru, Brahmananda Puri, who's going to become one of his most intimate disciples, associates. He's the godbrother of his guru, but he'd been instructed by Ishwara Puri to serve Mahaprabhu. So they had met many sadhus, but never before had they seen such symptoms of prema. Feeling distress at the thought of mixing with materialistic people, they had wandered in the forests. But now, after meeting Lord Nityananda, their distress was relieved and their Krishna prema was aroused. The condition of India at that time, materialists everywhere. in the guise of devotees, because Varnashram can mimic devotional life. There are many similarities in Varnashram, worship and chanting and rituals, but no devotional sentiments. All materialistic goals and impersonal conceptions. Nityananda Prabhu traveled for some time with Madhavendra Puri, relishing Krishna Katha. The qualities of Madhavendra Puri were most wonderful. He would swoon just by seeing a dark cloud, just like Radhika. Right? Out of love for Krishna, he laughed and cried throughout the day and night, shouting, "Hoya, hoya," like a drunkard. Lord Nityananda was intensely absorbed in his loving sentiments for Govinda. He laughed loudly, swaying to and fro. Madhavendra Puri's disciples constantly chanted the holy name of Lord Hari, seeing the extraordinary symptoms of love manifested by Nityananda Prabhu and Madhavendra Puri. The two forgot whether it was day or night in their absorption of ecstatic love of Krishna. This is why association of devotees. Madhavendra Puri, undoubtedly, extraordinary devotee, topmost devotee, Mahabhagavad. And yet, in the association of another such personality, both their ecstasies and love expanded more and more and more. That's the intent of association with devotees. We try to create an environment that excites each other to perform more seva. Even in the stage of sadhana, we can do this. If you're in the company of people that want to be devotees, that are striving to become bhaktas, that are cultivating the qualities of service and humility, even in the beginning stages, that's inspiring. We should always seek that out and honor where we see that, wherever we see that, to whatever extent. If these are very young and new devotees, then you encourage and show kindness and instruction, right? You serve them in that way. Don't think that they're serving you. We're always serving everyone, but we serve according to Maryad. So devotees who are senior, they serve by instructing, showing compassion, giving good association. Devotees who are junior, they serve by assisting more experienced devotees in the broader service in the temple, to Thakurji, to whatever, cooking, cleaning. And we take joy in that. It's very unfortunate if we have the mood of resistance to service. I don't want to take instruction. I only want to listen to my guru. You hear that sometimes. I'll only serve my guru. I'll only be with him. I'll only listen to him. If that's your state, guru will allow that. Srila Prabhupada mentions that in one purport. He said, if somehow or other one is finding that he's not inspired in the association of the general devotees, then he can associate directly with the guru. But one who is more advanced, he'll want to serve those who are serving the guru, because the guru takes those who are dear to him and sends them here and there, right? They're trusting agents of the guru. And if you serve them, then you're understanding the desire of Sri Guru, the mood of Sri Guru, and he appreciates that even more. Just like Krishna says, one who says he's my devotee, may be my devotee, but one who says he's the devotee of my devotee and serves my devotee, he is truly my devotee. And Guru says the same thing. Lord Nityananda was intensely absorbed in his loving sentiments for Govinda. Oh, I read that. He laughed loudly, swaying to and fro. And Madhavendra Puri's disciples constantly chanted the holy name of Lord Hari, seeing the extraordinary symptoms of love manifested by Nityananda Prabhu and Madhavendra Puri. The two forgot whether it was day or night in their absorption of ecstatic love. So even these greatly advanced disciples are taking inspiration and joy in serving the ecstasies and happiness of these two personalities, of course. Although you don't become independent when you become advanced. Oh, now I don't need devotees. You want to be with devotees. That's why Ramananda Roy, when asked by Mahaprabhu, what is the greatest sadness in this world, he said, I know of no sadness except separation from the devotees. Right? You want to be with devotees. That's the meaning of solitude. Although remaining together for a number of days, Nityananda Prabhu and Madhavendra Puri felt that period to be as hardly a moment. Who knows all that took place between the Lord and Madhavendra Puri? Only Krishna knows. Unable to give up the company of Nityananda Prabhu, Madhavendra Puri constantly remained with him. And now there's a verse, long verse, starts out, Madhavendra Bale Prema Nadekilun Kata Sehi Mora Savatirtha Hena Prema Jata. And it says, Madhavendra Puri said, I have never seen such ecstatic love. Wherever there is such prema is my favorite holy place. I know Krishna has given me his mercy because he has given me such a friend as Nityananda. Wherever one finds Nityananda's company is the most sacred and transcendental place. That devotee who hears the name of Nityananda will certainly attain the lotus feet of Krishna Chandra. What? What? That devotee who hears the name of Nityananda. Are you hearing the name? Do you hear it? Can you give me a Haribo? Will certainly attain the lotus feet of Krishna Chandra. If one has the slightest envy of Nityananda, Krishna never favors him, even if he is a devotee. Many examples like that of devotees that not only did not receive Krishna's direct favor, but actually fell from their devotional position. All right. So, they took, Madhavendra Puri says, Krishna's given me his mercy because he's given me a friend as Nityananda. I remember Gurudev one time saying to my godbrothers, Atul Krishna and now Namiraj, he was Gyanadas then, they were both working on books at that time. And they were very close, had a natural affinity for one another. And Gurudev says, I want that you two should remain lifetime friends. That's very valuable, to have friends who are sajatya, they have the same mood as you do, same aspiration, and snigdha, they have natural affection for you. In your devotional life, if you're humble and sincere, you can find those kind of people. We should seek out that kind of relationship. You know, some spiritual traditions stress being a hermit and living in solitude. Right? And that may free you from the association of materialistic people, just like Madhavendra Puri and his group. They were trying to avoid the association of materialistic people, but they had each other's association. And when they got the association of Nityananda, then, even more, they were happy. Yeah, that's what we want. So it goes on, and the verses go on. Madhavendra Puri exhibited great affection for Lord Nityananda throughout the day and night with his speech and deeds. Right? He glorified devotees, sweet words, and served them with deeds, right? Nityananda Prabhu considered Madhavendra Puri to be nothing other than his guru. And I'll make a point. If you think carefully, if you've wandered here and there in the association of devotees, sometimes you'll see a devotee who has a particular mood of service to the Vaishnavas. Right? And that's noteworthy. Not just senior Vaishnavas, but all Vaishnavas. In the history of the Gaudiya Math, there was one exceptional devotee, Maybe you know his name? Like the mother of the temple? When Sri Narahari Seva Vigraha, the title Seva Vigraha was given to him by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. The very form of Seva, the manifestation. He was considered like the mother of the Mat because he took care of all the devotees. And when our Srila Prabhupada heard of his disappearance, he said, the separation I am feeling now from our dear Narahari Seva Vigraha is no less than the separation I felt at the disappearance of our divine Guru Maharaj. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. So he was exalted. Our Srila Gurudev, Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj, spoke about him. And in that same mood, Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj was given the title Bhakta Bandhav. That's extremely meaningful. It means the friend of all the devotees, the servant, the friend of the devotee is the one who serves and protects the devotees. That was Gurudev's mood. He offered his very life in the service of one of the dear disciples of Srila Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj. What's his name? Ananga Mohan? Simple boy. In terms, he wasn't highly educated, but he was deeply immersed in the mood of service, had deep love for Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj, did personal service for him, and he was beloved by Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj. But he contracted, what is that? Typhus? What? Tuberculosis, even worse. The lung disease, which even today, if not treated, has a super high degree of fatality, and it's extremely infectious. And back then, they didn't have anything for it. And if you were near such a person, they're coughing, you could get it also. So he had it very badly, his coughing blood. None of the devotees wanted to be near him or take care of him. So Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj was personally serving this disciple, bringing him food, wiping his mouth, caring for him, helping him to the bathroom, everything he needed. But Srila Gurudev, seeing that, Bhaktivedanta Keshav Maharaj had given up all his other service to do that for his own disciple at the risk of his own life. Right? Srila Gurudev said, allow me, please let me take care of him, and you go back to your service of running your whole Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, right? And so Gurudev took him to a special place where they had treatment and stayed with him. And then the lad was leaving his body. But while leaving his body, he had a divine vision, right? Oh, I see Radha and Krishna, they're coming for me, right? And he became ecstatic. And Gurudev said, oh, Prabhu, please bless me. When you go back to Goloka Vrindavan, remember me and ask them to give me the mercy they've given you. Right? It's Bhakta Bandhav. We want to be Bhakta Bandhav, right? It's a happy place, appreciating the devotees and serving the devotees. Right? Doesn't mean without some care and some discrimination. You serve and deal with devotees according to adhikar, maryad, reciprocation, there's subtleties to it, but the mood, the desire, that should be there. So, these two vastly learned personalities, Madhavendra Puri exhibited great affection for Lord Nityananda throughout the day and night with his speech and deeds. Nityananda Prabhu considered Madhavendra Puri to be nothing other than his guru. These two vastly learned personalities did not know whether it was day or night due to their ecstatic love for Krishna. After staying together for some time, some days, Nityananda Prabhu left for Setu Banda, Rameshwaram. That's in South India. That's a place where Lord Ram went to Lanka from. And Madhavendra Puri went to see the Sarayu River. In their absorption for love of Krishna, both Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri forgot their bodies. Feelings of separation for the Lord maintain a devotee's life. Otherwise, how could one tolerate such intense feelings? So it looks so painful, but it also, and it looks like they're suffering so much, but it maintains their life. It's extraordinary. It's described that all the poison in all the worlds of all the most vicious snakes is not like this, and not as severe as a poison of this separation, how it's felt. But yet it's felt like ecstasy. We can't understand the experience, the extremes. We only have the perverted reflection. But whoever hears about the meeting of Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri will certainly achieve the wealth of love for Krishna. After traveling in an ecstatic mood for some days, Lord Nityananda arrived at Setubandha. After taking bath at Dhanus Tirtha, he went to see Lord Rameshwara. Lord Nityananda next went to Vijay Nagara. This is all South India. This is great. He visited the Mayapuri, Avanti, and Godavari rivers. Ooh, the Godavari. Yeah, that's a beautiful river, even today. So wide and fast. That's where Mahaprabhu met Ramananda Roy. And then went to the abode of Jayada Nrsinga, famous place. He visited Tirumala and Kurma Chatra, and eventually arrived at Jagannath Puri to see Lord Jagannath, the Lord of Nilachala. As he approached Sri Nilachala, Lord Nityananda fell unconscious after seeing the flag atop the temple. He saw Lord Jagannath as the source of the Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. In other words, Dwarkadish Krishna. He is the first Chaturvyuha. And they both come from Lord Baladev. Lord Baladev, he is the original Sankarshan, and that first expansion, in that form, he's Mula Sankarshan, the root of that original Chaturvyuha. And then from there, Mahasankarshan, the Chaturvyuha in the Vaikuntha realm. So immediately upon seeing Lord Jagannath, Lord Nityananda fell into a trance of ecstatic love, so that his hair stood on end. When he recovered his senses, he fell to the floor. Ecstatic symptoms of love of Krishna, such as shivering of the body, perspiring, crying, swooning, and loud roaring, manifested in his body. Some are internal sentiments, and some are external expressions of the internal moods. But all the qualities of prema just roaring through his body. So after remaining at Nilachala for some time, Nityananda Prabhu departed in great jubilation for Ganga Sagra. If you take the Ganga from the very mouth all the way to the Bay of Bengal, that's Ganga Sagra, where the branches in all these different places, and that's a very sacred place. People go there to, they take the ashes of their relatives there and do ceremonies. Very powerful place. Who can describe the Lord's pilgrimages? I have only written briefly about it by His mercy. After visiting, because we heard this, but what went on at each of these places, we have no idea. And what went on in between, wandering here and there, meeting this person, that person, distributing love of God, who can know? After visiting many more holy places, Nityananda Prabhu returned to Mathura. Remember, he'd been there previously. He remained in Vrindavan, being so absorbed in thought of Krishna that he was unable to tell whether it was day or night. He did not eat, but occasionally drank some milk if someone offered it to him. Nityananda Prabhu knew very well that Lord Gaurachandra was residing in Navadvip. He thought to himself, I will go and serve Lord Gauranga when he manifests his opulence. What does he mean by that? What is the opulence of the Lord? The mood of audarya, munificence, benevolence, the distribution mood of giving love of God. Right now it's hidden. He's in Vrindavan, Mahaprabhu is still in scholarly pastimes. But he's met Ishwara Puri, so many things have happened, and it's just about to start. And Nityananda Prabhu is in the mood of Baladev in Vrindavan, seeing all these places, calling out, Kanaya, Kanaya, where are you, right? And his desire to be with his eternal brother is growing and growing and growing. Mahaprabhu's same desire is also manifesting, but he keeps it internal. His bhavs are hidden, and they are disguised, and they show themselves sometimes as fainting, disease like epilepsy, life air disturbances. Nobody knows what's wrong with him. But internally he's experiencing mahabhavs, even though he's not showing it or even speaking about it. So it's building, right? I will go and serve Lord Gauranga when he manifests his opulence. Nityananda Prabhu therefore did not go to Navadvip immediately, but remained at Mathura. He regularly enjoyed sporting in the water of the Jamuna and playing with the children in Vrindavan. Although Lord Nityananda is omnipotent, he did not distribute devotional service to the Lord at that time. Uncommon Sukriti was there, seeing him in his presence, but he wasn't doing it yet. Okay, then he says, Yabe Gaurachandra Prabhu Kariba Prakash, Tada Sa Agyaya Bhakti Dhanera Vilas. When Lord Gaurachandra manifests his opulence, then I will begin to distribute bhakti on his order. The devotees of Lord Chaitanya did not like to do anything without his order, but this did not diminish their glories in the least. Brahma, Ananta, Shiva, and other demigods create, maintain, and destroy by the order of Lord Chaitanya. Sinners who do not like to hear such things are not fit to be seen by Vaishnavas. Just see for yourself how Lord Nityananda Prabhu blessed the people of this universe with the treasure of prema. Nityananda Rai is the foremost devotee of Lord Chaitanya, because the glories of Lord Chaitanya always dance on his tongue. Day and night, Lord Nityananda chants the glories of Lord Chaitanya. When one worships Lord Nityananda, he surely attains devotion for Lord Chaitanya. All glories to Nityananda Rai, the first manifestation of Lord Chaitanya. The glories of Lord Chaitanya became manifest only by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Important. Why? Became manifest, in other words, revealed, because he's Guru. By his desire, by his mercy, he makes it available. One becomes attached to Lord Nityananda by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. One who knows Lord Nityananda never faces any adversities. Those who wished to cross the ocean of material existence and drown in the ocean of devotional service must worship Nitai Chand. Do you hear that? We're always hearing that one gets the mercy of Lord Chaitanya by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the mercy of Guru, but here it's saying that you get the mercy of Lord Nityananda by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And that's going to be shown in the next pastime, when Nityananda does come to Navadvip, and Mahaprabhu has this dream that night that he's arrived, and he tells, I think, Srivas and Haridas, go find him. Maybe it was Murari. Wait, we'll find out. Anyway, they couldn't find him. He was there. He was down at Ishadan at the house of Nandanacharya, but they couldn't find him. And then Mahaprabhu smiled and said, come with me, I'll show you where he is. They'd gone everywhere to look for him. And so they walked right to the house, and then everybody saw him. So it's two sides. We get the mercy of Guru by the mercy of the Lord, right? When one's time for the conditioned nature to end, by the mercy of the Lord in the heart, one is given direction and opportunity to find a real Guru. And by the mercy of that Guru, he plants the seed of bhakti. Brahmanda Brahmite Kon Bhagyavana Jeev, Guru Krishna, Kripapaya Bhakti Lata Beach. Right? The mercy of Guru and Krishna work together. Because they're non-different. They have different functions, and they have the same function. Someone said, Nityananda is just like Balaram. Another person said, he is most dear to Lord Chaitanya. Someone may consider Lord Nityananda to be a sannyasi. Someone may consider him a devotee, or someone may consider him a jnani. They may all say whatever they like. Even if Lord Nityananda were the most insignificant servant of Lord Chaitanya, I would still keep his lotus feet in my heart. Therefore, I kick the head of any sinner who disregards the glories of Lord Nityananda and dares to criticize him. Kick the head. We can't do that, but we can admire those who can. Srila Prabhupada would always say, I kick on their head with boot about the scientists. Right? If you find any follower of Lord Chaitanya apparently saying something bad about Lord Nityananda, you should know that what he said is actually glorification. In other words, a real follower of Lord Chaitanya, right? Not a false one. Vaishnavas are always pure and full of knowledge. So these are the last paragraphs here. This is, remember, this is Vrindavan Das Thakur, and he is, you could say, the chief disciple of Lord Nityananda. So all this is coming from his heart, inspired by the Lord. Vaishnavas are always pure and full of knowledge. So if there is ever any quarrel between them, know it simply to be part of their pastimes. If a person takes the side of one Vaishnava and criticizes another, he will certainly be vanquished. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, with commentary by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, this section has extensive purport. And it relates to what we'd heard earlier also about the dangers of Vaishnava Aparad and the danger for the neophyte disciple who, out of his sense of nishta to his own guru, sees what he thinks to be a disagreement or a fault in another Vaishnav, fault in another guru, and taking the side of his own guru, criticizes that other personality. This will destroy your bhakti. You have no right to do that. If the person takes the side of one Vaishnava, and he means pure Vaishnava, right, exalted, self-realized person, and criticizes another, he will certainly be vanquished. So many people at the time of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj criticized him for his instruction and help to the devotees, which Srila Prabhupada had instructed them to seek out. They all had difficulty. Many of them fell away terribly. The same thing happened again with our Srila Gurudev, instructed by Srila Prabhupada to help his disciples, and people misunderstood it. Oh, he's trying to take over our Guru's territory. This is Prabhupada's, territory. Very less than Kanishta understanding. It's all Mahaprabhu's territory. They're all great servants of Mahaprabhu. If you can't have faith or you're confused by the instruction of one or another, then you just keep your distance, right? And you follow your guru to the best of your ability, and you honor from a distance. But you never criticize other Vaishnavas. And even now, having known all this and seen all this, sometimes I may read something from one exalted Vaishnava, one of my guru's godbrothers, which seems to be at odds or seems to be critical of Srila Prabhupada, and I just stay away. Because Srila Prabhupada also said, a godbrother may even give another godbrother a slap, in private, but you can't do that. You can't criticize them. Anyone who follows Lord Nityananda without finding fault in him will certainly attain the shelter of Sri Gaurachandra. When will that day come when I will see Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda surrounded by their devotees? Let me serve Lord Gaurachandra under the instructions of Lord Nityananda, who is my worshipable Lord in all respects. All glories to the Supreme Lord, Sri Gauranga. I beg for your mercy so that my mind may remain absorbed in the lotus feet of you both. Nityananda Roy is your greatest devotee. No one can attain him without your Gaurangas, your sanction. Lord Nityananda wandered about in the forest of Vrindavan until Lord Gaurachandra displayed his opulences. Whoever hears these descriptions of Lord Nityananda's visit to the holy places, will certainly attain what? The treasure of divine prema. We hear it. The seed is planted. It's coming. It's coming. It's kind of like waiting for spring and summer. Here we are in the month of Magh. There's 4 feet of snow everywhere. It's cold, sub-zero. But we know spring is coming, right? It has its time. We know summer is coming. And prema is also coming if we just follow the instructions properly. Serve our gurus, develop deep affection and love for our Guru Varga, for all the associates of Mahaprabhu, all that ever were, all that ever will be, right? Like we sing in the morning. And don't commit offense. And hear these pastimes, and then we will attain the treasure of divine prema. Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Especially on this day, the divine appearance day of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. What better way than hearing his pastimes and glories in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, compiled out of love by his dearmost disciple, Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur, commented on by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, revealed by our own gurus in so many ways. So it's wonderful, wonderful. So, offering obeisance to Srila Prabhupada, to Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, to all the glorious devotees in our line, we offer obeisances. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.